Language is the most valuable possession of human race. It is passed from generation to generation through cultural transmission. The society, art forms, culture, literature, and everything that the human civilization possesses is because of language. Speech and writing are the two main media through which language exists. Speech is the most natural way of communication. Writing, the preservation of language using visible marks, is a later development. When we become literate in a language, we learn to read, write, and understand. The artificial techniques for converting text to speech and speech to text come under the discipline of speech processing.
Speech processing means processing of speech signals. Signal is anything that contains or conveys information, and processing means we process signals in order to make the information more useful. So, simplest type of speech processing is our public address system, in which the sound is amplified so that it can be heard at a distance. So, when we say speech processing, normally what we mean is processing of digitized form of speech signals.
Speech processing denotes the digital processing of speech signals or the processing of digitized form of speech signals. Signals are anything that contain or convey information. We process signals to extract more information or to make it more useful. Speech processing or speech signal processing is a subdivision of digital signal processing. Speech processing has a wide domain of applications, the most valuable example of which is the system used by Professor Stephen Hawking, the most renowned author and scientist of our era, who lost his voice in 1985. Afflicted by motor neuron disease, ALS, Lou Gehrig's, the brilliant professor has lost most of his muscle control and ability to speak on his own.
Hello. My name is Stephen Hawking.
For the last 2 decades, his voice has been the most familiar voice globally. He has been delivering lectures around the world, and now he even runs a popular TV show. His many publications include The Large-Scale Structure of Space-Time, General Relativity and Einstein Centenary Survey, and 300 Years of Gravity. Stephen Hawking has 3 popular books to his credit. His bestseller, A Brief History of Time, Black Holes and Baby Universes, and other essays, The Universe in a Nutshell, and most recently in 2010, The Grand Design. Hawking communicates with his voice system using an IR sensor fixed to his spectacles that triggers off twitches in the cheek muscle under the eye. Hawking's setup uses a predictive text entry system, which requires only the first few characters in order to auto-complete the word. But as he is only able to use his cheek for data entry, constructing complete sentences takes time. Applications of speech processing can be broadly classified into speech synthesis, speech recognition, speech verification, and identification, and aids to the differently abled.
The machine uses only 2 sounds produced electrically.
Speech synthesis denotes artificial generation of speech.
Who saw you?
She saw me.
Whom did she see?
She saw me.
It can be restricted vocabulary, as in the announcement system, where the system has to produce a limited number of words, or unlimited vocabulary, where the system has to generate any given word. Systems which read any given text aloud is called text-to-speech synthesis systems, or TTS. The text can be given through keyboard or as a scanned document. The desire to make speaking machines was prevalent for centuries, like the desire to make flying machines. These fantasies had resulted in movies like Space Odyssey, where the robot HAL could talk and understand speech.
Controlling the mission is a talking computer known as HAL.
The history of speech synthesis is much older than electronic signal processing. Early inventors tried to make mechanical synthesizers. In 1779, the Danish scientist Christian Kratzenstein, working at the Russian Academy of Sciences, built models of the human vocal tract that could produce the 5 long vowel sounds. Wolfgang von Kempelen developed a bellows-operated acoustic mechanical speech machine in 1791. This machine was able to produce vowels as well as consonants. In 1837, Charles Wheatstone produced a speaking machine based on Wolfgang von Kempelen's design.
I certainly feel sorry
Homer
for you.
Dudley of Bell Labs developed a manually keyboard-operated voice synthesizer VODA, or voice demonstrator,
To be used in building up speech sounds.
which was exhibited at the 1939 New York World Fair.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Once upon a time,
A lot of research followed on mechanical systems. The first computer-based speech synthesis systems were created in the late 50s. The first general English text-to-speech system was developed by Noriko Umeda and team in 1968. The dominant systems in 1980s and 1990s were the MI Talk system based on the work of Dennis Klatt. Early speech synthesizers sounded robotic and were often barely intelligible. The quality of synthesized speech has steadily improved in the case of languages like English, Chinese, Japanese, French, etc. A lot of research has been going on for other languages as well.
An application made for a particular language will not be exactly applicable to another language. But the same algorithms can be used, same theory can be used, but we have to take the language into account and change the system specifically for a particular language. So the linguistic people, language experts and signal processing people have to come together and make the system. And as far as Indian languages are concerned, in Hindi, Tamil and Telugu and Bengali, research works are going on. In Malayalam also we have started research work, but most of the work is in Hindi, Telugu and Tamil. And there are a lot of scope for the work, especially for Indians, because since it is language specific, only native speakers can make the system better.
Speech synthesis has a lot of applications, including support systems for visually and hearing impaired, educational applications, and multimedia. Perhaps the most important and useful application of speech synthesis is reading and communication aids for the blind. This includes screen readers, scan read systems, portable readers, and digital book readers. In addition to computers and other devices, talking clocks and thermometers, specialized barcode scanners, and Palm Pilots all make daily life, education, and employment more accessible for people with vision impairments. Screen reading software reads aloud everything on computer screens, including text, pull-down menus, icons, dialog boxes, and web pages. Screen readers run simultaneously with the computer's operating system and applications. There are many software packages available as screen readers, which include Orca, Emacs Speak, etc.
First, go into System Preferences, click Speech.
ScanRead systems combine software and a flatbed scanner to read aloud any printed text.
Let me give you an example. Let's say a man has
Textbook pages, class handouts, and tests can be scanned and then read aloud by a computer. Another newer innovation for blind and vision impaired individuals is the Talking Global Positioning System device, otherwise called GPS. Special additional software is needed for the GPS that accesses the map information on the GPS and speaks or displays the directions in Braille.
After 1/10 of a mile, turn left onto.
Speaker identification systems identify a speaker from a set of speakers, whereas speaker verification systems authenticate whether the speaker is the right person.
I'll close the menu now.
As speech is the most natural means of communication for human beings, which has initiated the development of human language, culture, and everything else, research and development works in the field of speech processing will essentially be socially relevant.
The major limitation is the complexity of language itself. Like the way we speak is not exactly the way we write. Then from people to people, the pronunciation varies. The way every parameter of speech varies from person to person, and from one person itself, it might not be the same when we say at different times. So we have to do a lot of research to make it look like natural speech. So that are the challenges in the field.
Speech processing research has also contributed significantly to the development of multimedia applications, mobile communication, and voice transmission through the internet. These have resulted in faster and cheaper ways of communication around the world, making the whole world a global village. People from different disciplines like linguistics, computational and speech processing have to come together to develop applications, thereby reducing the so-called digital divide and contributing to social equity amongst all sections of society.